If you want to stay, we got 30 minutes of core strength, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of mobility work. I'm a physical therapist. If you don't know me, I do physical therapy, strength training, mostly endurance athletes, but athletes of all levels. Join me, let's get some core strength going. We're gonna start off in standing for a little bit of a yoga warm-up, just using it as a nice little warm-up for our bodies. We're gonna take it down onto the mat. We've got 3 moves. Core, we're gonna do a circuit of core work and then finish with some stretching, and that's it for today, 30 minutes. Let's start it off, reach to the sky. Take a nice long inhale. Let's get into a nice little vinyasa yoga warm-up, just using this as a way to warm up, right? Not getting too crazy with our yoga. If you have weights, that's optional for classes, always, but suggested. One more breath here. And then exhale, forward fold, bring your arms all the way down. I do host live classes every week, so subscribe to the channel or check out some of my replays of classes. I got a lot of core workouts, full body workouts, nutrition. Keep your knees nice and soft, just stretching out the back here. One more breath. We're going through this whole vinyasa. We'll do this 3 times in our warm-up. And on your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back straight. The knees get a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Again, I like to use this just as a warm-up. If you are a runner, cyclist, probably got some tight hamstrings. Hold it here, one more breath. Brace with your abs. Bring your hands down, step back into plank. We do have some planks today. I will show modifications to the planks if needed. Push away from the mat, spread your fingers wide. Brace with your abs, tuck your chin in one breath. And then exhale, knees down, slowly lower, chaturanga. We're starting slow. We are going to speed up. Don't worry. Inhale, up dog or cobra stretch. Maybe a little baby cobra to start. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Brace with your core. This should feel nice on the lower back, not pinchy. Really get into some nice extension. And then exhale, back down. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide. Push away from the mat. Drive your hips high to the sky. Spread the fingers, pedal the feet, stretch the calf, stretch the ankles, flatten out that upper back, really driving through the hands. Pedal, 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 pedal those feet. Nice calf and ankle mobility. Whatever pace you want. I'm going kind of fast. Up to you. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Let's go through the sun sal A sequence again. Rolling up slowly, head coming up last. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. Hang out here for one breath. And then inhale, halfway lift. Hold it here, hip hinge. This is your deadlift. Stretch in the hammies. Hands come down, step back into plank. We do have more planks coming up. Hold it here, strong plank. Push away from the ground, strong shoulders. And then exhale, either knees down or all the way down, chaturanga. Challenge yourself, work your shoulders. Up dog or cobra is next. Get some nice spine extension. We spend so much of our day hunched over things. Let's extend. Let's get some movement in our spine in a different way. Healthy spine needs to be a supple spine. Pull the shoulders down your back. Exhale, back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. We've got one more round just like this. Pedal those feet out fast or slow. This class is up to you. Again, I am just your guide. You modify as needed for all of this. Walk your hands back to your feet. Yoga is for everyone, right? I do my modified yoga. You do your modified yoga. Get what you need out of it. I love the mobility, the flow. Inhale, reach. Feels nice, especially for us. It's sort of one-dimensional for all we're doing is running and biking, right? Got to change it up a little bit. Get some different movements in some different planes of motion. Halfway lift. Hold it here. One breath. Last round, and then we're moving on. Hands come down, plank. It's also a good way to add in some body weight strength, right? Nice planks, squats. Hold it here. Pull the belly in, tuck the chin. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Some nice shoulder strength as well. Right, yoga's got a lot of nice things. Up dog or cobra. Last time, we are moving on. We do have some planks coming up. Lower back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Speaking of planks, let's widen our stance here in our down dog. So bring your arms further out in front. And I want to take this into a plank, right? So I want to finish where I'm stacked and I'm not way far in front. So find that kind of longer down dog position. So you're going to be here into my tall plank, and then I'm going to exhale it back into downward dog. I want you to just start with that. Again, if you need to take breaks, totally fine, or double up your mat, whatever you need to do for your wrists and shoulders, etc., go for it. Exhale back. Inhale, plank. We're going to add a tap. So if you want to bring that left hand to that right shin, tap it through. A little bit of obliques. Tap it through. We do have even more planks after this. And then we're going to get into that series of 3 moves. So every class I host, core strength, we've got kind of our main circuit of 3 moves. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Today, a little bit of obliques, deep core. Coming up next, let's do 2 more like this. 1 more. Walk your hands back to your feet, come to the back of your mat. Bring your feet wide, maybe even the width of the mat. Give yourself some space here. What I want to do is I want to start inhale, reach mountain pose, and then when I'm coming down into this position here, I want to have my back flat. So if I bring my feet nice and wide, I won't end up all squinched up. So give yourself some width, because you're going to walk out and then come into plank. And we're finishing flat back, starting flat back. Inhale, reach at your own pace. I suggest add a little bit of speed to this if you want. So walk it out, walk it back, bracing with my abs. Inhale, reach. Walk it out into plank. If you want to make it a little bit more spicy, add a little bit of a push-up to the end, right? I'm always trying to get in, for my athletes, a little bit more upper body work. A lot of us, especially in these endurance sports, we're doing a lot of lower body and not as much maybe upper body. So use this opportunity, whether it's my class, whether it's your own core strength program, to add in a little bit, right? Body weight, plank, push-ups, whatever. We do have some weights coming up next in our core circuit. Get it in, right? Want full body, right? I would tell that to my clients. I would tell that to my patients. In physical therapy, we need that full body strength, not just legs and not just upper. We want all of it. Last time. And then let's come down onto the mat and do a little bit of our cat-cow. So just bring your knees down. Let's finish our warm-up here with a little bit of a nice cat-cow sequence. Just a nice little mobility finisher. Mellow. Who doesn't love cat-cow, right? One of my faves. Really focus on expanding the rib cage. Really get into that entire spine. Inhale, sink low. Exhale. So we've got our core series coming up next. All right, so I'm going to cue you. You've got 3 moves, 3 rounds. We're going to start with obliques. We've got a lot of obliques actually on the schedule. So we're going to start with our Russian twist. So if you have your weights, grab them. We've got a little bit of a lower abdominal, flutter kick, and then we've got 1 more move, a little bit of a crunch, which we will change, that one in the last round. So let's do 2 more here. We're going to start off with our Russian twist. In seated, grab your weights. Weights are optional. You do not need them, but they are up to you for class. Sometimes I add a little bit more into the beginning with some squats. So if you've got your weight, light to medium weight, I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I always like to set myself up into this Russian twist with this nice flat back position. So in other words, I'm not here, I'm here. Engage my lats, squeeze my shoulder blades down my back, support my lower back. Then I'm going to brace from the front. Then I'm going to add in that twist to that Russian twist. Again, weights are optional. You don't need the weights. If you have them, add them in. I'm keeping them relatively close to my side. I'm still bracing with my core. A lot of things to think about here. This is our first move in this round. So we've got a flutter kick, a little bit of a crunch, got a lot coming up. I want you to focus on really getting some nice rotation. In other words, I'm really reaching around, right? So I'm not just going like this. I'm getting some nice rotation, 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 right? Sitting up tall, bracing with my abs. If you want to make this harder, elevate the legs. So if you don't have the weights, you can always just have the legs up and elevated. And rotate. Long set, we're almost done. Couple more here. In 4, in 3, in 2, and 1 on your back. Flutter kicks. Again, you've got options for your flutter kicks. So we're gonna do a nice 10 count hold with our flutters. And try not to drop the weight. So bracing here on my exhale, I'm gonna lift my head up. My lower back stays down. My legs are gonna come up and down, right? Now you can have your hands behind your head to stabilize your neck. I always suggest tuck the chin in, press the rib cage down, keep that lower back glued to the floor. Again, you decide how low you want to let the legs go, right? So we're going to have another move after this, kind of similar with our reverse crunch. You decide how low you want to go. The lower you go, the harder it is here, right? So in other words, what I want to have happen is as you get through this, I have to constantly remind people, keep that lower back pressed down, right? The second you feel that tiny, tiny, tiny bit of lift, you need to brace even harder. Let's do a few more here, and we'll get into our next move. So we've got 3 moves, 1 more move left. Let's do 1 more just like this. And then relax, shake it out. So your reverse crunch is gonna be kind of similar to this move, right? It's gonna start from this deep pelvic floor. I'm gonna squeeze, I'm gonna lift my legs up, and then I'm gonna lower them down, right? So you can have arms at your sides, arms behind the head. I like to, again, start with the legs up and the head up, so I can really lock this position down. It's this low back. Lift and then lower. Lift. So that scoop, that's gonna be your reverse crunch. Scoop, lift, lower. Exhale, lift, up, right? So this is our 3 moves. We got our twist, seated twist, a little bit of a flutter kick, and with this nice deep reverse crunch, lower abdominals, pull, lift, right? All of them are pretty challenging. If you want to add weights to this one, I would suggest you can hold the weights overhead. You really want to challenge yourself, weights back behind your head. Again, you really need to make sure this lower back is pressing down the whole time. 4 more here. Let me go back to that Russian twist. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Bring the feet down, shake them out. Let's come up into our Russian twist. Round 2. We've got 3 rounds total. Let's do it. This is start off our week. Some challenging core work. Sitting up nice and tall, brace with your abs. Form must be perfect for all of these. These are advanced brace, sitting up tall, adding that twist. Weights are optional. Elevating the legs. Maybe you add some speed. Again, I always suggest to people changing the moves and changing the tempo, right? So core work, it doesn't need to be crazy standing on a Bosu ball to be effective and efficient, but we do want to have a little bit of diversity, right? So we're not just doing always holds and planks, so we're not always just doing Russian twists. We kind of change it up, but you can also change the tempo, right? So maybe I go slower, maybe I'll go a little bit lower, deeper, whatever. So play around with that. Maybe I add mini bands to some moves, maybe add the weights, right? So challenge your body and just keep focusing on the form, right? That's the fundamental. So I really want to be doing this correctly, not rounding, falling apart here. But then once you have that down, really focus on your breath. Are you bracing, but are you breathing underneath that breath? Right? So that's the breath control, diaphragm. And then can I add some speed? Can I slow it down? Can I speed it up? Maybe can I lift the legs up for a few? Create some challenge. Let's do 4 more here. 3, 2, 1 on your back. Flutter those legs up and down, up to you, how low you want to go. Brace here first. Elevate the legs and the head first, and then kick the legs and back up. If you only feel your hip flexors, I get that one a lot with some of these leg exercises. Your hip flexors are definitely working with these exercises, no doubt, but I want you to brace with your abs more. If that's all you're feeling, sometimes it takes a little bit of that redirecting, right? Where can you focus your attention more? Focus it here. Focus it on the breath. Focus it on pressing the lower back down more. If we lose that connection in the pelvis and the back is arching, that's a lot of times why you're feeling it mostly here in the legs. So it doesn't mean we're not working the legs, but the primary thing that we're focusing on this exercise should be abdominals, right? So brace, focus. Let's do 4 more. Two more. One more time. And rest. Whew. Reverse crunch to lower. Again, breath. Pull up the belly, that diaphragm, that pelvic floor, is that going to be that squeeze and lift, and then lower. Squeeze, lift, lower. Pelvic floor, that's a part of your core. That is the base of that core, your breath, your diaphragm, that's the top, everything around it, supporting, stabilizing you, lower back, obliques, abdominals, deep abdominals, all of that. Low back, lats, it's all this whole connection. So it's everything, right? So we've got one more round after this. Then we're gonna stretch, be done. That is it for class 30 minutes. 4 more here. 3, 2, last one. Last time through with our Russian twist, you decide slow or fast, legs elevated, legs not. Find that position first, really hone in, lock it in. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And then the weights I add in. This is a 10-pound weight. So something like that for upper body and for upper body core, not just for upper body, but for some of this core work, I don't suggest you need to go that heavy, but make it challenging, right? So 2 pounds, it's probably not enough of a stimulus, but 10 pounds or more, probably great for most of you. Again, kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever, that all works. Some nice rotation, maybe focus on a little bit more rotation, getting that upper back and those obliques to work, rotate. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flutter those little legs out. Last time through, brace here. Form is key. Back up, back down. You want to hold the weights? You can. If you want to just have your arms overhead and just torture yourself more, you can. Again, when I extend the arms out, I'm making even more work here, right? So that's why that's even more advanced. You have to be even more stabilized here, right? If your neck's getting tired, you can have your hands here. I do like hands at sides. It gives you a little bit of support, but that's up to you. Again, you go as low as you can go while maintaining this control. That lower back needs to stay glued down. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Abs should be feeling it. Reverse crunch, last move. Let's get into some stretching after this. Exhale, lift. Last time, you guys, focus, stay focused. Here, this is advanced. Again, if you wanted to do the easier version, just do the reverse crunch, right? Little baby crunch. This is the key of the move, right? So this is the most important part, the lift. Everything else, that's just additional, right? Squeeze. It's that squeeze, that pull, that lift. Lift. So that would be a little bit easier as you don't go all the way down with the legs or keep the legs closer to your body. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Whew, done. Oh. Let's roll onto our stomach. Let's get in a little bit of lower back strength. Roll over onto the belly, tuck the chin in, tuck the tailbone under ever so slightly. Let's do a little bit of low back, opposite arm and leg reaches before we stretch and cool it down. Engage that whole posterior chain, meaning everything on the back side of your body. Lift and hold. And switch. Let your breath slow down. Really feel that engagement, entire backside of your body. Lengthen, reach to opposite ends of the room. Get longer, get taller, leaner. Reach, extend through the spine, create more space. Two more just like this. Reach. One more. And then I want you to do a nice little 10 count hold. So opposite. So arms and legs are just going to lift and hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax, shake it out. Let's do one more time. Really thinking about engaging that entire backside of the body, lifting off the floor. Tuck the chin in, brace with your abs. Inhale, lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit back into child's pose. Bring the knees nice and wide. Give your hips some space. Settle back in. Let's stretch it out. Any stretches that feel good to you, now is your chance again. I am just your guide. Just giving you some ideas, some tips. When you're ready, come onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Again, this is kind of the similar sequence I like to go through with a lot of my clients, my patients, most of my classes. If you check my other core classes, kind of some similar mobility, just keeping it nice and simple. Modify as needed. Rock your knees side to side. Give your lower back a nice little massage here. This should feel nice. Slow down the breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill the belly and then exhale it out through the mouth. Let that left leg extend long. Shake it out. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Get those feet moving. Join me for live class every week. Subscribe to the channel. You will get notifications of live class every week. A little bit of core, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of weights, strength, a little bit of everything. Bring that knee across your body. Find that position that just feels like a nice stretch for the glutes. I T-band. Maybe if you rotate off the mat even more, you're getting into that lower back. Open that right arm out at an angle. Find that position where where you're getting that nice stretch. So for you, it might be a little bit higher. You might be a little bit lower. Slow down the breath. Really use the breath to get into that rib cage. So inhale through the nose. Fill the rib cage. Exhale it out through the mouth. Sink deeper into that stretch. Last few breaths here. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. Release any tension in the neck. When you're ready, come back to center, figure 4, stretch here. Nice deep hip opener onto that right hip. If you want more, reach through for thread the needle. Roll the shoulders. Let the head go side to side. Any other stretches that you need to do? Now is your chance. Focus on that nice slow breath. Inhale through the nose. Hold. And then exhale it out through the mouth. Let's unwrap that right leg. Shake that right leg out. Hug that left knee into your chest a little again. Rolling the ankles and the toes. Get those feet moving. Active, healthy feet. Bring that knee across your body. Find that position that just feels good to you on your body. Maybe the knee goes higher, maybe it goes lower. Bring that left arm out at an angle. Enjoy that upper body stretch, chest, rib cage. Again, shaking the head side to side. Release any tension. We are almost done with class. Settle into the stretch. Find that good position for you. It just feels right. And then come back to center. Figure four. We are almost done. Hold it here. Reach through for thread the needle if you want deeper. Again, roll the shoulders. Any other last stretches? Now is your chance. We are almost done with class. Inhale through the nose. Hold. And then exhale it out through the mouth. Last breath here. And then unwrap that left leg. Place both feet onto the floor. Let the knees rock side to side, rolling onto your side, coming up into seated. Finishing off in seated. If you want, you don't have to sit cross-legged. You can sit however you want. Let's start with that. Finish with how we started with that nice tall spine position. So sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, reach to the sky. Get some length. Exhale out one more time, and then we are done for today. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you next time. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class. Check out my other core class playlists. Exhale it out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.